If you've ever been on the internet, like ever, you will at some point have fallen victim to a spoiler. Whether you went on Twitter before watching the season 4 Stranger Things running up that hill moment, I'm still on season 3, so shut up, or you were told that Game of Thrones ended mediocrely before you got to watch it for yourself, end mediocrely, spoilers are an inevitable and unavoidable part of the internet. Nowadays, spoilers can appear online months in advance as insiders leak information with major plot points being collated online by scoopers claiming to have the inside, well, scoop. And sometimes the person who leaked it can have their life turned upside down by angry fans of the show, potentially jeopardising the leaker's career in real life. Here's the story of the Glee extra who leaked a spoiler that would ruin their life, aka when Gleeks attack. So for most of you watching, you've probably, at some point in your life, heard of a little TV show called Glee. If you haven't, unlucky. But if you have, also unlucky. First aired in 2009, the show Glee was centred around a group of high school misfits, from the bullies to the bullied, who were all part of their school's Glee club. The show quickly gained a rabid fan base and became one of the biggest shows of the 21st century, and not to be too dramatic, but Glee kind of changed the world. As for millions of persecuted and outcast teenagers around the world, Glee was often the only thing or person in their lives inspiring them to don't stop believing that things do get better, and I am living proof that things in fact do not. Oh, and fans of Glee were called Gleeks. Get it, like Glee and geek? Anyways, as a former Gleek who still has the Glee cast dangerously close to the top of their most streamed artist ranking on Spotify, the plot of the first few seasons is etched onto my skull. We won't talk about the later seasons. But for those unfamiliar with the show, you'll need a quick bit of context to understand this chronically online tale. So, April 2011, the show was in its second season. And to summarise, Kurt Hummel, the gay kid in the Glee club who has been bullied for the entirety of the show by mainly members of the football team, now has a crush on Blaine Anderson, a student from a rival Glee club at a different school, Dalton Academy. Kurt's main bully in the show is Dave Karofsky. Karofsky himself is secretly gay and thus falls into the trope of closeted high school jock bully that relentlessly terrorises their more feminine counterpart and yet is whom the audience is expected to sympathise with and praise more following their coming out. Anyways, earlier in the season, Dave kissed Kurt and then threatened to kill him if he told anyone about it. Finn and Quinn, who were once in a relationship, are now back in a relationship after Sam broke things off with Quinn for cheating, and Quinn has her eyes set on making herself and Finn prom king and queen. Brittany, who was previously hooking up with Santana, is now dating Artie, while Santana is now kind of dating Sam. Mr. Shoe's a creep, and that's what you missed on As season 2 aired, with so many relationship shake-ups, the question on every Gleek's lips was who would be the William McKinley High School prom king and queen. Fans would speculate on who they thought would become prom king and queen, with most sharing a distaste for Quinn, praying that her efforts to be crowned were in vain. It was also a focus point of the press at the time, with cast members being asked about who they were rooting for the titles. The prom episode was set to air on the 10th of May 2011, but fans wouldn't have to wait that long to find out the answer to their prom queen prayers. Introducing Nicole. Nicole was a 21-year-old aspiring actress and director living in Los Angeles who worked as a background extra on many TV shows like Disney's Shake It Up, Ant Farm, and she had also worked on Glee. Separate from her acting career, Nicole was a self-described gossip blogger and ran an account on her Twitter under her full name. And on the night of the 16th of April 2011, Nicole tweeted the following tweet: K is PQ and KA is PK, a seemingly insignificant cryptic tweet. Who even knows what that could mean? Gleeks. The Gleeks always know. And Nicole had a lot of Gleek followers. Although very little of Nicole's account from 2011 is archived, from what can be pieced together from various sources and other users' tweets from the time, Nicole's tweets were often relating to Glee. The account is only archived twice on the Wayback Machine, the first in October 2010 and the last in March 2011, and in both of these archived pages, Nicole is tweeting about Glee and answering questions from Gleeks. Some of these tweets provided gossip to to fans about upcoming episodes often focused on the relationships in the show. And at one point, Gleek Out Brazil, a page notorious for having insider information and leaks prior to episodes airing, even asked Nicole for some exclusive spoilers for their site. This request was in October of 2010, and although the tweet went unanswered, from the date it suggests that Nicole had been sharing information about Glee for some time prior to her now infamous cryptic tweet, and that many people would ask her for information on future episodes of the show. But that, of course, is just my opinion. Back to the 16th of April 2011. Alongside the mysterious tweet, Nicole also, allegedly, tweeted many other pieces of quote-unquote gossip in what was later described as a Q&A session on her Twitter. At Nicole, do Finchel get back together during prom? No. At Nicole, anything Britannia? Just anything? C. At Nicole, will there be a clean kiss at prom? No. Slow dance. So it didn't take a genius to figure out that her cryptic tweet was also about Glee, specifically regarding the prom episode. And it wasn't long before the Gleeks had decoded her mysterious tweet. Kurt is prom queen and Karofsky is prom king. With all the fan speculation surrounding who would be prom king and queen, the tweet sent shockwaves through the Glee fandom. The spoiler was somewhat of a plot twist, with many people expecting the prom queen to be either Rachel, Quinn or Santana, or just any female character from the show, but instead the award of prom queen was given to Kurt as a way of his high school peers continuing to bully him over his sexuality. The prom king and queen spoiler was later confirmed by a Glee insider on Tumblr, and so fans began to react to the new information. Some were shook and excited about the gossip, but others were angry at Nicole for spoiling such a large plot point of the upcoming episode. And soon, Nicole's account was noticed by someone much higher up in the Glee pyramid than just the Gleeks. On the 17th of April 2011, Brad Falchuk, the writer and co-creator of Glee, tweeted at Nicole, "Hope you're qualified to do something besides work in entertainment," and "Who are you to spoil something talented people have spent months to create?" With approximately 28,000 followers at the time, Falchuk's tweet quickly gained traction, with many fans turning on Nicole. After seeing Brad's tweet, Nicole responded, "I apologise sincerely from the bottom of my heart." Twitter Gleeks soon began sending insulting messages to Nicole, many with the hashtag #BradIsOurKing, showing their support for the co-creator of the show and his tweets. At Nicole, "I have 3 words for you, madam. #BradIsOurKing. My nephew about Mr. Bean. Nobody is that stupid. Me, Nicole is." There was also a push amongst fans to make the Brad is our king hashtag trend, and the situation began to be referred to as World War Glee. But amongst the Gleeks in the mild fandom war, some fans were actually sympathetic towards Nicole's situation and made posts pointing out the hypocrisy of some Gleeks who were happy to receive the gossip from Nicole before she was called out for it. And some were even more supportive, with one user describing how Nicole's gossip about upcoming episodes would help them in their role-playing as Glee characters. According to one blog, alongside her apology, Nicole tweeted, "I don't want to be an extra anymore, that's why I said what I said. Haters need to back off, you're not cool or funny. Get a life." The Nicole Glee leak situation began to spread beyond Twitter, with Gleeks on Tumblr also sharing their opinions on the situation. Who the is Nicole, and why is she trying to spoil every Glee moment? She ruined the episode. And there was also an attempt to turn Nicole into some sort of meme. Soon after sharing her tweets, Nicole deleted her Twitter account. With the semi-viral backlash that Nicole had received from the tweet, and it revealing some information about one of the biggest shows on the air, it wasn't long before news sites began to report the story, with a focus on Nicole being quote-unquote fired. Glee Extra Nicole fired for revealing prom king and queen on Twitter. Oops, Nicole fired. Glee Extra axed from plot leak. And Glee saison 2 les spoilers de Nicole. Be sure to tell me how badly I butchered that. After Nicole's tweets, there was some news articles reporting that Glee would be tightening the contracts for not only their extras, but for all of its talent following Nicole's tweets. The articles also stated that the contracts for extras at the time did not contain NDAs. With all the news sites reporting on the situation, it wasn't long before Nicole decided to speak out and clear up some of the misinformation that was circulating about her. After the story began to gain media attention, Nicole did a series of interviews with a site called Polite Paparazzi, which provided some interesting insight into her tweet. I do recommend you watch the full interviews for the full context on what Nicole says, as I will just be pointing out small sections. In these interviews, Nicole revealed that she was not actually an extra on Glee for the prom episode, as some news sites were suggesting, and that the last time Nicole worked as a background extra at Glee was on the 7th of October 2010, which was long before the prom episode. And so the news articles claiming that she had been fired were in fact false, as she wasn't employed by Glee at the time. Nicole went on to reveal that she had received the prom king and queen spoiler from a dinner party that she attended on the 16th of April, where there was a girl who claimed to be an extra from the prom episode and told Nicole that Curtin Karofsky had won prom king and queen. Nicole refers to what she tweeted as gossip, going on to say, "I had no way of knowing if that girl was lying to me, if it was the truth, if she was just messing with me because she knew I was a fan." In these interviews, Nicole also discusses the fallout from her tweets that had occurred behind the scenes. She revealed that she had been suspended from her talent agency, and she had also been informed that she would not work with the casting agency that casted for Glee on any of the projects that they did, not just Glee. Another source had also told Nicole that she was also being blacklisted by all agencies. There were some sources at the time stating that Nicole would be exploring legal options because her budding career had been ruined because of false information, but I couldn't find any information on whether any legal action was actually taken or if it ever ended up going anywhere. And so the story of the now infamous Nicole, the Glee gossip blogger who spoiled the prom episode, was seemingly over. That was until 5 years later. On the 6th of April 2016, an episode of the TV show The Internet Ruined My Life aired, titled Glee Tragedy. The show, The Internet Ruined My Life, was a TV show that told the stories of people who, you guessed it, had their lives ruined by the internet. Nicole appeared in the episode Glee Tragedy to tell the story about her prom spoiler tweet. The show briefly discusses the time she was an extra on Glee, and then in regard to her Twitter account where she would answer fan questions about upcoming plot points of the show, Nicole claimed that most of the time her answers would be just guesses or predictions, as the plot of Glee wasn't exactly a mystery. The show then mainly focuses on the aftermath of the tweets, and Nicole revealed that she did receive messages of people threatening her, saying that she did not deserve to live, and also messages from people who told Nicole that they lived in LA and were going to track her down. This led to Nicole's father hiring a bodyguard for her protection. On the show, whilst discussing being dropped from her casting company, Nicole states that her friends in LA were being told by casting agencies not to contact her and were made to defriend her, presumably on Facebook. The show also touches upon Nicole falling into a depression after everything that had happened, and that she was also put on anti-anxiety medication. And eventually, after everything that had happened, Nicole moved from LA back home to Florida. The show also has a brief mention of Glee being a show about love and acceptance with an anti-bullying stance, and this is compared to the bullying that Nicole received from Glee fans, and how this is ironic. Nicole's segment of the show concludes with her saying that if she could go back in time, she would not have sent the prom king and queen tweet. Following her appearance on The Internet Ruined My Life, Nicole has become a bit of a safe social media advocate, with her being interviewed on Good Morning Britain, and she has also visited a school to share her story and discuss the dangers of social media and online bullying. And so Nicole's story is somewhat of a cautionary tale about how the internet can ruin your life. That's why she was on a show called The Internet Ruined My Life. It's also a cautionary tale about Gleeks. So next time you tweet Mr. Schuster is a weirdo, remember that the Gleeks are always watching. Although I think they would probably agree with you. Mr. Shoot was so f***ing strange. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one in the future.